Aloha, everyone. Good morning. We're going to get started here. I'm just going to pre-introduce the introducer, Dr. Clint Anderson. Please.
There are people who come into our lives. They shift and transform trajectories. There are names synonymous with Kipuka soil: Kamakau, Malo, Pukui, Kimura, Aluli Meyer. Kanako Iwi scholars who force history to bend around them. The direction of Ike Hawaiʻi changed forever. Na'au pulled down pono paths and into the past, future, present, triangulations of meaning decoded, longitudinal data downloaded in streams of aloha. Dr. Manulani Aluli Meyer is, as the kids say, all the things. Giving mana wahine, as it were, and is. I know her as Kumu. You may have heard the word used if you're Kama'aina or Malahini more recently in workshops with Kumu Malu, Kumu Hualani, Kumu Pele. It is used as an honorarium to denote the English equivalent, teacher. But another meaning is this: the source of knowledge, of wisdom, of aloha, of all the things. We are all humbled, honored, and privileged this morning to share space with a most prolific anake, author, cultural practitioner, researcher, friend, and mentor. As it did for me, a kid from Puna, those who hear her leo, her words are changed forever. Such is the strength and power of one awamoing their kuleana, as she does daily. I have no doubt Manu's ancestors smiled down on her as her beautiful smile fills the room with warmth now. We are all haumana today. And so on behalf of all of us and the lahui which you have enriched with your becoming and being and doing, Ho'oulu, mahalo piha, kumu manulani. Welcome back. Home to Waiakea, Ahupua'a, to ke kula nui o Hawaiʻi ma Hilo. Au ka hoʻi o ia ke ai ka ulua o he ana e kohoni a ka wai ua. Ua ki mai hoʻi me ka manao e he wailani ko Kūlani ha ko ie. E aha hoʻi kone ia honula e he ui ano ai galina aku nei e. Ua.
Dr. Clint Anderson. Oh, I was like saying, see, this is my student over there. Patsy, aloha mai. Thanks, Kevin. Mahalo nui for this invitation. Cousin, thank you for being here. Kirsten, thank you for that drive. Such a pleasure. Alana kahi au moi, alana mali e a oia i o. He I o kumu, he I o lau, he I o lono a ke alo. E hoʻoulu mai, e hoʻoulu mai, e hoʻoulu ai ka velina a ke aloha. A ke aka mai, a ke aka mai. Ake ake akamai. E ho'opono mai, e ho'opono mai. Ke pono, he pono. Ke pono, he pono. He ino ino kalahui o Hawaiʻi nui a kea. Aloha mai kākoa pau. Welcome to the future. What I'd like to do, and this is going to annoy some of you, so please forgive me, is to please stand and sit next to someone. And it's e lua wale nui. We're going to work in dyads this morning. So if there's 3 of you, find another 4th person. You're not going to talk in 3s. You're going to talk in 2s. So sit next to somebody, move your furniture, sit next to somebody. And when you find that person, hold their hands and lift them. So hold their hands up so I can make sure you're in dyads. Because some of you guys, there we go, keep them up, keep them up. Okay, that's a little far, Auntie, that's a little far. No, yeah, no, get 2. You might, no, Uncle, you guys just sit down. Hey, Lua Valley, no, come sit. You guys are good. Who are you? Yeah, you're good. I've done this with 3,000 people. This takes a time. All right. No, Uncle, the one right there with the hat. You got to find somebody right there. Close your computers, please. Close your computers, please. Close your computers, please. This is really, really going to annoy some of you. Yeah. Okay, nice, Kirsten. You can let your hands go. You guys are good. Okay, you can let your hands go. Your hands go. What, Uncle, raise your hand. Who you need? One person. Uncle, come up here. I'll be your partner. Wait, one right up there. All right. Who's your partner? Oh, you guys have got partners. Okay, ask him, how are you today? Go. How are you? Mean it. Sorry, a little loud, sorry. Kevin, it's not on, okay. Aloha mai kākoa pau. In Hawaii, those of us who live in rural areas, even in non-rural areas, this is how we welcome people. We go, hui. That means I'm coming. Hey, hui, e komo mai. Come sit up here, Luana. Come sit up here. This is my friend, Luana. Hui. Hui. Yes. Aw, this is my best friend. Okay. Oh, there's one more person up here. Come up, come. Hui. Up. Come inside. All the way up. Please, if there's another person, send them down here. Okay. This is the surprise. You get to be my partner. You get to be Luana's partner or Clint's partner. Because the dialogic is on. I had to look up the word humanities, sorry. Honestly, because the false duality of the world is now under critique. So we have to be clear about this. So that's why you asked me, Patsy, because this is me 20 years later, okay? I've had it. So the dialogic means it's not the dialectic. We don't have to argue our point and defend our thesis, all right? Those days are over. I mean, they're not really, but I have to ho'upu that into the world. Because they're collapsing now for a good reason. So I've been asked here, and I had to look you guys up. So I'm gonna read some things that you are gonna have to close your eyes because I want you to enjoy the sensuality of something different. So not quite yet, keep your eyes open. But I have my family and beloved friends here, so I feel good. And Clint introduced me. Okay, hahai no ka'ua I ka ulu la'au. Plant a forest and the rains will come. We are introducing into the world the process called Hawaiian hermeneutics that a beloved friend, Pula Makolier, has developed through the help of Pilahi Paki. Please sit in dyads. Can you let them know that there are dyads back there? So you've got to come up here in dyads. You have to sit next to people. Yeah, yeah. Because what's happening now, my work is in indigenous epistemology. I use the word epistemology in Hawaii only because it has a funny feeling to it. What is funny about that word? Anybody? Too long. Yeah, nice. It's too long. Correct. What else? You have to piss in it. It's got urine in it. Okay? So it's, thanks, Josie. It's got piss in it. What's your response?
I would say that it has a lot of connections with the patriarchal West.
Yes, that is absolutely an annoying response. Thank you. So they are correct, and that is why we are going into the field of hermeneutics. Because once you understand that it's all made up, our job as indigenous practitioners is to make something else up. Right, Jackie? Yeah. That's why it's time. And that's why Patsy worked in the field of peace in order to do your own understanding of what it is in Hawaii and what it is as we always collaborate. We've always collaborated, Patsy. And so now no wonder you found this group. You guys are a really, really interesting group, but I want you to know what the shared purpose is. Hahai no ka'ua I ka ulu la'au. Share purpose with others and transform the world. That is the deeper interpretation we call noa huna. So Luana, ho'opukaku literal, kauna metaphoric, and then noa huna, which is the esoteric, which is our own interpretation. So no one can ever say ever again, that's not what it means. You can tell people that's not what it means to you. But this is what it means to me. Share purpose with others and transform the world. Isn't that? And that's what I got by years and years of saying, when the rains, plant a forest and the rains will come, plant a forest and the rains will come, and everyone's like, yay, it's so scientific. And I'm like, you guys, indigenous science is this, Western science is a subset. It's not the other way around. Once you get that, you're going to be blown away by the potential of what deep thinkers and cultural practitioners bring. We're not bragging. We just need to be clear and kind, clear and kind. So is this time for me to read something? And if it is, you're going to have to close your eyes. Everybody, please close your eyes. Please close your eyes, because I want you to experience something different, not text, but the sound of an idea. Founded in 2003, the New Directions in the Humanities Research Network is brought together by a common interest in established traditions in the humanities, while at the same time developing innovative practices and setting a renewed agenda for their future. We seek to build an epistemic community where we can make linkages across disciplinary, geographic and cultural boundaries. Search for common ground works to transform the way people deal with conflict, building healthy, safe, and just societies around the world. We do this through building trust and creating collaboration opportunities for adversaries, ultimately leading to breakthroughs for peace. We transform conflicts so people can live free from violence and realize the benefits of durable peace. We are locally rooted and globally networked. Our unique value lies in the collective impact of our globally integrated team and partners, from those most directly affected by violent conflict in our communities to those with access and influence on the major powers that influence conflict dynamics. Okay, please turn to your partner and talk about why you came to this event. Go. You got about 2 minutes. You're my partner, unless someone else comes. Woo! Thanks for making it. Okay, thank your partner, please. Thank you, partner. Okay, mean it, mean it. All right, because this is why we're here. We are the breakthroughs of peace. So the conditions, I love it when people say they want to do peace, and yet the disparities are so gross that we have 200 billionaires living in Hawaii. So unless we awaken and produce the social constructs of what that means, everything else is Jabberwocky to me. So 200 people just 3 weeks ago came and gathered at UH Hilo, no, UH West Oʻahu. I've been here, I'm a Hilo girl. I've been here 30 years. But now I'm on Oahu, and it's lovely. Hi, Celia. Hi, good to see you. So we had 200 people dedicated the process of ho'oponopono. Can you say ho'oponopono? Yeah, and most people think it's that lovely saying, I love you, forgive me, I'm sorry, thank you. And that is so part of it, but that's so not ho'oponopono. And so we have to lovingly say, all healing is mutual. You don't just say it and then expect the healing to occur. Ooh, one person, you're up here, come up here. No, other side. Yeah. So ho'oponopono is when you use truth to get back to truth. So here we are today using our truth to return to a quality of truth. So every single time that you folks meet each other in this quick 3 days, I want you to develop a practice of ho'opono. Ho'opono is the actualization of your own self-awareness through what you say to people. And that is the idea of pono. Pono for us, ua mau ke e o ka aina I ka pono. The freedom of our place and our beloved lands is through our actions. And our actions must be, gotta be, should be, all this kind of stuff, be truthful. So that's why, what is the quality of how you responded to a stranger, a semi-stranger this morning? And this is not a flashlight on what you do or do not do. This is a robust discussion of an indigenous epistemology moving toward awakeness. All right, so here we go. So that changed my life. I was in charge of that. Cousin was there, and it was really amazing. And my friend Pulam, who came, I said, what was unique about the room? She said, everybody knew themselves. So when Aya Iloko Nei is one of our basic principles as a Haku Ho'oponopono practitioner, I'm a facilitator of this practice. What is the most important thing to do? And that is to know who you are. And that's what we're trying to do in the next 3 days, 2 days. Ho'oponopono is the effort to make right so aloha can come through. That is one of my kumu of Ho'oponopono, Aunty Lynette Paglinawan. So, is the effort to make right. Now, right is another synonym for pono. Right is another synonym. And so as we're in the world of turmoil, chaos, and change, that's the good news. Oh, close your eyes. Everybody, please close your eyes. Please close your eyes. I mean it. Close your eyes. Take a breath. Breathe slowly. Breathe deeply. This is another monologue that you folks wrote that I want to discuss right now. Please close your eyes. The humanities. Humanities are academic disciplines that study aspects of human society and culture, including certain fundamental questions asked by humans. During the Renaissance, the term humanities, unquote, referred to the study of classical literature and language, as opposed to the study of religion or divinity, unquote. The study of the humanities was a key part of the secular curriculum in universities at the time. Today, the humanities are more frequently defined as any field of study outside of natural sciences, social sciences, formal sciences like mathematics, and applied sciences or professional training. They use methods that are primarily critical, speculative, or interpretive, and have a significant historical element as distinguished from the mainly empirical approaches of science. The humanities include the academic study of philosophy, religion, history, language, arts, which include literature, writing, oratory, rhetoric, poetry, etc. The performing arts, which include theater, music, dance, etc. And the visual arts, which include painting, sculpture, photography, filmmaking, etc. Take a breath before you open your eyes, but please open your eyes. Oh, wrong one. Here it is. Wow. Are we not going to evolve? Are we not going to evolve? Are we going to call everything empirical science and everything, experiential, not science? So I'm here to ask the humanities, you guys, why are we not clearer about the definitive nature of love? Why are we not clearer about the rigor of what peace really means to health and wellness? Why are we not clearer about the nature of unity? Teilhard de Chardin, one of my favorite writers, said that unity differentiates. And there it is, the absolute wholeness of life. Because the left and right hemisphere is, it's obvious, but we all know that there's crossovers, and we all know that the brain can be more than we know now that the brain doesn't produce consciousness. Consciousness is the fundamental character of reality, and it does not start with the brain. So let us evolve. Please, evolve. So this is Federico Faggin, the developer of the microchip. He's the guy. The deepest longing is to know myself. To know is the deepest longing humans have. It has given rise to spirituality, then religion, then science. Science satisfies only the surface longing. So this is a discussion of spirituality. Spirituality is the grandmother, the great-grandmother of science. Science is the bureaucracy of spirituality. It is time for us to be clear about the impact of the trans-spatial, trans-empirical, trans-racial, trans-temporal world that has always existed and that we know of. It's time to be clear, because right this second, we are in this moment. You know what I'm talking about, everybody. We're in it now. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, wow. I don't even have a television for the last 50 years, and I even know it. We are in it right now. This is not a conference. Patsy asked me, that's why I'm here. I don't even fly anymore. So this is it. We're going to go from this slug thing to flight. But we've got to be a saturated sampling of our own knowing. We have to believe in this moment of transformation. And if we don't, we're going to be political? So this is our kupuna. In our conference, I want to show you that at 9 o'clock, cousin was there. I was in charge of the thing. I don't really know technical. And all of a sudden, at 9 o'clock, Aunty Lynette goes, Manu, I want to start at 9. I'm like, whoa, and I'm heading to the podium. And then the music goes on. And out of 80 slides, the slide stops on this. And then, E Hawaiʻi e kuone hanau e. 220 people stand and start singing. Kuhome. That's our hometown song. And they started singing this, and the whole conference was on this. And this is our teacher. And did I plan that? Did my friends plan that? I was like, oh, thanks all you guys, that was a good opening. They were like, we didn't do it. I go, who did it? 9 o'clock sharp. Right when Auntie said. So the whole Ailona, the portents of transformation are everywhere. But are we paying attention? Witnessing is a higher frequency of evaluation. There's measurement, reflection, and witnessing. So let's keep going. Because here's Federico Faggin. He says consciousness is more fundamental than matter. Please turn to your partner and talk about what that means. Thank you. Hawaiian style, someone's coming. Thank you, partner. Thank you, partner. So one of my most favorite pedagogical tools is called the dyad, and the dyad is what you're experiencing right now. It stimulates the dialogic, and it creates the capacity to both hear and listen and hear, and also express an idea. Teachers don't need to listen to everything. Oh my gosh. But you need to say it. You need to express it. So the dialogic I learned from Paulo Freire. He came into my class twice. So learning from Paulo, the dialogic is way more fulfilling. The expression, the ku ka, the express and the receive, the express and the receive, because it is about consciousness. So I'm going to do a quick little review of my own evolution quickly. Hawaiian epistemology, I got to tell you, it was a really funny thing to bring home in the 1990s, because people said, "Shut up, Manu." You know what I mean? Like, really, like, shut up, right? Like, shut up. I'm like, oh, because I couldn't use the word epistemology. You don't use a $10 word like that, right? It's a $10, we say. $10, too expensive. So I gave the word away to Lui Hokoana, and so I was able to grok what it meant. And so that was my kuleana. And so these are the things I learned from my beloved elders, family members, and these are the ground zero of Hawaiian thinking. And so I'd go around places and talk story about Hawaiian epistemology, and everyone would go, "Oh, thank you, Dr. Meyer. Can I share with you our experience in our wedding at Waikiki?" And I'm like, huh? You know what I mean? But they're not Hawaiian. They don't see the function of it. But because function is the cornerstone of enduring knowledge system, I say no more function, no more junction. So then we went into indigenous epistemology, okay? We had to go wide, go wide. And then people go, "Thank you so much, Dr. Meyer, but we're not indigenous." I'm like, huh? But this relates to you. This is important to you. This is meaningful to you, but we're not indigenous. Stop making continuity a racial distinction. Stop it. I mean it. Things that endure have a purpose, and race is made up. It is how we define how we live together, specific to a place over time, that we name culture. We name Ike Kupuna. So yeah, that was it, but then boom. And then what happened, so I felt, because I swear I'm from another planet, I felt, because we're from the Nahui Makali'i, it's time to talk about simultaneity. It's time to talk about what has always been present, but dismissed because of the politics of the day. It's okay, we've been watching, and it's now time to step forward with clarity and kindness. So Hawaiian epistemology, we call it mo ike aloha. Mo ike is when you express knowledge, but it has a genesis, and you know the genesis, your great-great-grandfather, your mother, your grandmother. And when mo ike, if you have aloha at it, it's a synonym for Hawaiian intelligibility, that the genesis of our intelligence is aloha. And that's from my friend Pulama. Then we went to indigenous epistemology, and that absolutely showed me about the simultaneity and the purpose and the process of wholeness. Not fragmentation, not humanities and science. It's all humanities, it's all science. So, but now we got holographic epistemology, native common sense. It's published, thank you, yes, thank you, go read it. And we're introducing simultaneity into the world, okay? We don't talk like this for just anybody. Only for you, Patsy. Okay, here it is. All right. So, this is so obvious. It is the noa huna. It is the hidden process right in front of our eyes. and that there is a physical reality, there's a mental reality, and then there's a transspatial reality. I call spiritual. You may hear religion, but that is your disruption in your own process. Spirituality is a synonym for the quantum world, is a synonym for the trans-empirical world. I mean, like, duh. So, excuse me, but the point is, you know, we're so tired of waiting. So these books I was reading over here, all of a sudden they said, we learned this with our Hawaiian word, ike, ike, ike. Ike is to see, ike is knowledge, and ike is to be given revelations to the gods. That was my portal into the idea of simultaneity, the idea that aloha aku, aloha mai, kokua aku, kokua mai, a'o aku, a'o mai. As you sow, so shall you reap. Simultaneity is the highest principle of even Buddhist thinking. And we call it paticca samuppada, or dependent co-arising. And some of my favorite thoughts come from the Upanishads. Thank you, India, for being present. Mahalo nui. Because what a text. What a brilliant connection to the unseen world that we are completely connected with, but that the history of the West has rationalized out of our true wholeness. So these, to the right are the authors, and to the left is the physical, mental, and spiritual. Sorry about that last one, the first one. And these are in those books, and I'm reading them, including Spinoza, and here's Spinoza. He said, the world is in three ways. What did he say? Emotion, feeling, and awareness. There it is, awareness. Can you measure awareness? Can you see awareness? Absolutely, you can experience it. But the measurement part, so what collapses is our own unreflective vocabulary. When we want to evaluate something, it's not wrong to say we need to measure something, it's just incomplete. So there's no judgment here about the empirical sciences. There's no judgment here. I just want us to mature into the frequency of continuity. And continuity exists in wholeness. Continuity exists in the essence of form. Not just the form, but the essence. So look at that list. What I'd like you to do right now is to talk to you. How much time do I have left? Oh, got time. Yeah. This list, I just finished a doctoral class teaching at Manoa just yesterday. 3 weeks with this amazing group of 22 scholars, amazing. And they really grok this. You know, grok is finally in the dictionary. Is that amazing? Someone define grok for us, please. Right there. Nice and loud.
Me?
Yep.
To grok is to grasp and understand, both sort of on the literal level and also the vibes level. That's my kids equally.
Nice. So let's use synonyms for vibes. So vibe is intuition.
Aura.
Yeah. What else?
Aura.
Aura, nice. So that's a word. It's grok. I remember reading it years ago. What is it, Land or something? What was the book? Yeah. Stranger in a Strange Land. Thanks, Josie. So grok is now saying, can you digest this for your own function, for your own understanding? Can you talk to your partner and say, wow, I really get this. Sir Karl Popper, the massive philosopher of science, practitioner, researcher, writer, developed the 3 trilogies. He called it objective, subjective, and the third was cultural. And that blew my mind. What did he mean? What did he mean? I think we're developing culture right now. We're developing a world culture because of the development of AI. Do not fear AI. No. It's like hating a child you just birthed. Our evolution is imminent. Not that thing. We are creating it. So our evolution must be more self-evident. So please evolve. This is the moment. So talk to your partner. What the heck is she saying? Why does this have to do with me and this humanities conference? I kind of like my niche. You know what I mean? I'm kind of good at it. I'm kind of this, I'm kind of that. But we here in Hawaii really know that the world needs our help. Right, Jackie? Polole. We know, like, make it obvious. But my gosh, you guys, cut it out. Be more aware, not only of difference, but, you know, in here in Hawaii, I swear, I've been coached by an ethics, you know, federal ethics thing that I can't say to somebody, I like your shoes. Like, what kind of weirdness is that? Us here in Hawaii, it's like, whoa, I love your shoes, give it to me. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I went to Harvard and got my doctorate, and I was working there, and they said, my boss said, give this envelope to the man with the blue tie over there. I looked around all these men, and there was only one blue tie. And I was like, it was the only black guy there. And I was like, you mean to the black guy over there? She almost fired me. Like, what, are you kidding? I can't say black? Do you think he doesn't know? This is us in Hawaii. Give this envelope to the Popola guy sitting next to the Filipino guy, sitting next to the Portuguese guy talking too much. See? We like that. Race matters. Yeah. But culture cares. So the continuity of our lives is based on recognizing how we differ. And what we have in common is our difference. And when we get to know that, because here in Hawaii, look at me. My mom married an American, okay? So they name me White Bird. I'm the whitest person in my family. It has been the pain of my existence. And it kept me humble, as you can see. But talk to your partner. What does this holographic epistemology mean to you? Because it's everywhere. It's everywhere. It's always been everywhere. We have just been shy, shamed, and dismissed because of the politics of the time. But the times are changing. This is a saturated sampling of the potential of our evolution. Please talk to your partner. What just happened? Go. Someone snuck in over there who's got a partner? No, you guys got partner? What do you think of this list? Can we discuss it now, please? What do you think of this list? It takes my breath away. Now, you guys, you got to know, they're saying the same thing differently. So in a wholeness epistemology, you always have to have the opposite. So that's why, remember I used to say I collect oxymorons? You know? I love oxymorons. Let's share some now so I can see. Which one? Feminist humor is one of my favorites. Military intelligence, you get that one, yeah. Jumbo shrimp, yep. Gated community is one of my favorites, but I live behind 2 cow gates, so that one's wrong, because we have a community up there. We just got 2 cow gates, so got to rethink that one. But the world, when those oxymorons, that makes for good poetry, right? Literary teachers, right? Kirsten. But in philosophy, it really connotes wholeness to talk about we are all the same differently. Because I remember one gentleman yelling at me here at UH Hilo 30 years ago, saying, stop talking about difference. I'm like, what? That's when I said, difference is what we have in common. You know what I mean? And in Hawaii, we marry difference. We produce children that are different. We are scolded by difference. We are instructed by difference. But my God, we are going to notice difference. So we are the same, but what we're talking about differently, we are the same differently. You always got to have both in there. And what we're talking about in that sentence is the idea of essence. There's a physical reality, and then there's an essence. There's the form, and then there's the essence. I mean, we've got to be clearer about this. So this is like a photograph, but it's like a film. It goes clearly together. I'm just talking about it for a moment. This all is a facet of each other. So witnessing, this one, witnessing is how we learn how to reflect. This is an evaluation process. And then you can measure the clarity of what we express. So measurement is the physical, reflection is the mental, and witnessing is the spiritual. I learned this when elders gave me quarters in Canada and Indigenous gatherings and said, please, can you summarize our 3-day conference? I'm like, what? Really? That means I got to pay attention, Uncle? He goes, yes, you do. So witnessing meaning you summarize the essence of what was given. And I'll never forget 3 days of Indigenous gatherings up in Canada. This one kupuna said it 150 of us leaning in, and she said very succinctly, I can witness this. And that is, we have what we need, and we are who we need. Oh, it just made us all cry. Everybody just wanting some kind of high-level, discussion of everybody's thing, and oh, it was just so clear. Kupuna are clear. And so, I'm getting there, but this is too much Jabberwocky. This is too much. So I want to give it away. And so please take this. I think I'm done teaching at a university setting because, Hawaiians, we never taught people who didn't want to learn, just period. You got to want to learn, you know what I mean? Like you think, but we've got a setup now because of No Child Left Behind that, our young ones look at us and they just hardly blink anymore. It's like, brah, and so that's not, I'm not angry at that. It is part of the self-organizing universe, but I do notice that it's there. And so I think they're going to be finished with some of their emptiness any minute now. And that longing for self-knowledge, we should help with. We should help with. And that is through our understanding of peace and our activation of what aloha means in our pedagogy and in our evaluation systems. But what do you think of that list? Anybody? It's long. And you know, it's 4 times that long, because every single, 5 times that long. All my doctoral students have to develop their own. And the principal of Kailua High School, she just says, I got it. And her trilogy yesterday was, what was the first one? Oh, authentic. The mindful was vulnerable, and the spiritual for her was trust. And so she rocketed to her understanding. You've got to articulate your own understanding in your own verbiage. So has anyone come up with your own trilogy? Anybody? Raise your hand. Anybody? Yeah. Run to the hills. I might call on you. No, but do you get the function of this list? What's the function? Self-knowledge. Self-knowledge. That's it. Ai ilokone. Ai ilokone. That's it. And when you know who you really are, you're going to actually start to interpret for the world your own understanding and not fear someone else's disease, because there you know yourself, and that what they just said or just texted or just printed is not pono. It was Jacques Derrida that said in the 70s that text was going to be the downfall of Western civilization. How's that? And what I believe he meant was that text is one step away from consciousness. And consciousness, on a good day, is present with your voice. On a regular day, we blah, blah, blah it. And so speaking our pono, being truthful, is an activation of knowing yourself. You know what I mean? And knowing yourself. And so, yeah, I love that answer. Why did you say knowing self, my darling?
Because it is.
Yeah.
Because,
You talking
about your doctoral students and how they have to develop their own trilogy, that is personalization. And the only way we get to personalization is by having a deep understanding of who we are before we start sort of putting that out into the world.
Thank you. And in the sciences, even it was Einstein who said, if you change the theory, you change what gets to be seen. So knowing yourself actually will produce what you look at. So why are we not really talking about what happens between particles and waves? Why are we not at a different place of that understanding? When you look at something, it's particles. When you turn away, the consciousness, it becomes effulgent everywhere. Why do we not know the implications of this superpositionality? Miracle? You know what I mean? I don't really have the language for it, but I just know it's there, and you guys have it. Yes?
Art meets science meets spirituality, which was in Amsterdam and at the Dalai Lama.
Nice.
It's like the old samurai understood. And she was talking about actually moving into quantum physics and quantum space. And I've shown it to students, they all get it, but my colleagues all look at it and go, she's just nuts. She'll say anything to, to cause a sensation. She was balancing her hand on balancing her forehead on these rock crystal quartz, huge quartz. It says the energy and the sun was outside the glass. And she says the old samurai understood, Nikola Tesla understood.
Yep.
And sorry, I'm not explaining it very well.
I get it. That's a wonderful explanation of the unified world. And it really is unified. We just see it as separate. So forgive me for this separateness. But this is only a moment of Josie, I need to go on. The separateness is only a quality of how verbiage works. So how does my verbiage, or how do these books that I was reading in my sabbatical, what do they have to do with wholeness? It actually leaped out of every page, that wholeness that you're speaking of. The false duality of art and science. Absolutely false duality. It's dual, but here's non-dual. Look at this. This is Ken Wilber. Non-dual, no, dual, non-dual wholeness. It's just, we're all dual, we're all non-dual, and we are all whole. The question I ask this robust group of people is, how do you express that in your own pedagogy? Because this is how I learned about the efficacy of love, the efficacy of compassion, the actual rigor of what aloha means. It was first, Teilhard de Chardin is my mom's favorite.
Small request. Could you please focus on power, force, and liberation?
Yes.
Before moving on to this slide.
Power, force, and liberation, that's David Hawkins. And liberation for me, this is what, if knowledge is power, understanding is liberation. Liberation is when we know ourselves. And liberation is when people say, you're stupid, when actually, no, I just can't write fast. No, I'm not like everybody else. No, I'm going to go to sports because that's where my excellence. Liberation is the ability to respond with love at all times. It's a synonym for equanimity in Asian cultures. I love that word, equanimity. It's a bit of a hard one, but equanimity. So here's a trilogy in the equal terms. There's equal, equality, equanimity. So all that's in there. But liberation is whatever people say it is for their location, their culture, their timing, their way of life. I can't give. We say in Hawaii, not all knowledge is taught in one school. I'm just giving one interpretation that moves in the sands of time because a friend asked. But liberation is that essence of joy for me. I feel liberated in sharing this and not caring what you guys, whether you agree or not. Yeah, see, yeah, that's liberation. Yeah. Yeah, I absolutely appreciate the capacity, because loving is the practice of an awake mind. These are my teachers, all of them. And at Harvard, after all doing that fancy dancing, it really coalesced into aloha is our true intelligence. I love that Harvard has veritas in there. Veritas means truth. So the truth of one society, the one truth epistemology is collapsing right now. The one truth is collapsing because you can't possibly keep up extraction, competitive, greed, I don't know, name those things. You can't keep that up. You can't. It's not sustainable. We want to go, that's why indigenous people, all indigenous means is continuity. It's not like it's a racial distinction. It could be a proximity one, but it is a synonym for continuity. So if humanity wants to continue, you're going to have to centralize the love of land and service of people as a synonym. Love land, serve people. Love land, serve people. I learned that in Mauna Kea. Because, you know, I asked Luana, hey, Luana, summarize Hawaiian epistemology. She says, aloha aina. Yeah. Aloha aina, kapu aloha. And kapu aloha. The kapu aloha is the reverence for loving. They call the kapu aloha for this movement that we all produced, and it means to have reverence for loving. Reverence for loving. People think kapu was like kapu, but it's have awareness that loving is the actualization of our lives. And Raymond Moody, my friend, actually I don't know him, but I really love him. Because he developed NDE, near-death experience research, over 40 years ago. And he said thousands of people, they studied thousands of people that died and came back. And you know what they say? The vast majority of them say they didn't want to come back, but they had to come back because they didn't do their purpose. And he asked, what is your purpose? And they always said, my purpose is to learn how to love. What? Let's get our purpose on, and let's develop the rigor of what loving really means. And I remember this, Jackie? When Auntie Edith's picture in the, Ulua'i Kevelina Ake Aloha.
And it's still at the Performing Arts
It's still there?
Center. Yeah.
That was where the growth of love is the essence within the soul. The growth of love. We are growing in our awareness of what loving is. And then 30 years later, loving is the practice of an awake mind. That's my noahuna. So here is a time to reinterpret the signs that you already have and you already know. One of my favorite trilogies is, I don't know which Upanishad is this, but it said perception, conceptualization, and remembering. That's the trilogy. Isn't that beautiful? That comes from your people's aina. There's perception, physical, conceptualization, mental, and then remembering. So remembering is the most dynamic way of knowledge exchange, of knowledge production. I'm not telling you anything you don't already know. I'm just a cheerleader to bring that knowledge back again into your priority so that you can feel encouraged and you can feel your own essence growing. Because look at these guys. Ooh, here's Auntie. Here's Auntie. It's about form and essence. Form is the outside. Essence is the inward meaning, the effects, and the purpose. The deep essence is always aloha. You've come to the place of the aloha spirit. You know what I mean? You've come to our beloved Hilo. And this place is beloved because it rains. You know, I remember one student, a guy was coming back from Oahu at one trip to Hilo, and he said, oh, it's raining. And I waited until the end, because he told all of us guys in the plane that it was depressing because it was raining. I said, excuse me, young man, sit here with Auntie. I go, you know, we're coming into Hilo. Ka'ua kanile hua. This place, we know our rains, okay? We love rain. Don't be telling us it's a negative. So we love rain. Rain produces growth. Growth is life. Life is food. Food is sharing. So yeah, it rains in Hilo. Here is a picture of the dynamic interconnection. Here is the transspatial world that we actually see in a moment when the fresh water meets salt water, the muliwai. So these are the things I want to begin to close with. We are evolving. Aloha is our essence. We are not our bodies. We just think we are. And the closer I get to the aging, leaping off process, the more I recognize this truth. You know what I mean? It's the key cornerstone for many different spiritual traditions, is we are not our bodies. And what does that mean for our studies? A lot. But then you ask the question, then what are we? We are souls, yeah.
The moment we can come out of this bodily conception, this nothing but detachment, or otherwise detachment of miseries of this material world, then that is what actually liberation is all about, to my understanding.
That is so true. Did you hear that, everybody? We are, Hanaho, uncle, can you say them again? We are our souls. Can you repeat that, please?
Yeah. So the moment we come out of this bodily conception,
Yep.
is nothing but detachment from the miseries of this material world.
Yep.
So that is what actual liberation is all about, from the scriptures, ancient scriptures that I know.
It's beautiful. This is from the Tantra of Vajrasattva. In the great perfection, contemplation is uncontrived. It is systematic. It bears fruit. We embody just this and express it in a voice beyond dispute. So, you know, my days of contrived contemplation are over. You can get the book. It's called Ho'opono. It's at my sister's bookshop. Because, you know, it's time for us to be more real and to step out of our fears of even death and our fears of not being accepted, our fears of not getting tenure, our fears of people not thinking that my thoughts are smart enough. Just step away from your fears. Step away from your fears, because we are ourselves a holographic universe. Universe, thank you. Because consciousness is fundamental. The only thing I believe is worth studying, sorry humanities, is consciousness. You know what I mean? Consciousness is the only thing worthy of study. Then we can kūkulukumohana, this evolution collectively. Kūkulukumohana is when we pool our energies for a collective expression of its vivid beauty. And so please talk to your partner and talk about the new thinking, because this is in your website. I loved your website, by the way. I really got a lot out of it. I was like, wow, this is not a regular academics. No, you guys are the humanities. You know what I mean? You're interested in peace. You're interested in the integration of diversity. You guys are different. So, but this is the 23rd. Let's start to connect with the oceanic people of the world. Let's start to connect with island people that absolutely respect our limits. Respect our limits. We know what they are. And so let's find common grounds with new thinking, new practices, new societies. We can do this by understanding what has gone before, what has been dismissed, and what needs to return in different forms to be of service to today's awakening. You know, people think aloha is belittled when there's aloha termite, drink aloha, aloha insurance, aloha this. I used to think like that. But now, I just think they want in. You know, I'm going to call the aloha termite guys. Like, yeah. They don't belittle it. I do, with my thinking that they don't. So my job is to be an embodiment of the spirit and the energetic field of what Hawaii is. And Hawaii is about aloha. Why? Because geography shapes our epistemology. That's like one of the basic tenets of epistemology. Your geography shapes your knowing. So here we are, and here you are, coming to Hawaii to recognize what you already know. I really want to honor you guys for being here, because we are here not only to teach, but to be collaborators for this next moment. We're collaborating. And you came to Hilo, the moist place, the moistest place outside of Kauai, at that elevation. But Hilo is it. And it's been moist while you've been here. I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you. Be moistened by this and talk to each other right now of what is a highlight that you already knew and that you already practice in your teaching, in your lives, and in your scholarship. What rings familiar to you, please? Speak to each other. Thank you. pua kai, ma alihilani kai, kulalani kahiko kai, elo elo lalo ika vai o kulani hakoi. Kulu kulu mai la ua, ha veve mai la ua, loku loku mai la ua, e ola ko lalo nei. I kupua mu o mai la, mu o a laula mai la, lau a lala mai la, lala a kumu mai la, kumu a paina ole. Ua I hea. That's all I know. And let us grow together. The rains have come. The clouds have amassed on the horizon. That's you folks. You have brought nourishment to our shorelines. You have brought the capacity to evolve. May you feel encouraged in your work. May you know your own worth. May you grow in the capacity of love, to love, to love, and to love more. Maloko ne, mavaho ne, feel my gratitude. Mahalo.
O hilo ai na oluleu, na lehua makanoi o kai. Heu mai ka ua kine o kanahe, hu ina me ke alo kamaili, o pana e vai. Kuno mai na vai mo wai luku, he lua lutu e na kanahe. I kai palau e uana I haile kale mutiti o na manu ho'olo no wai wai ola ma me te mai lepo I ho kai me wai lo a pai ke kula ana kai a kai kamana o a ke alo ai no ho alo ai I motu ola e Yola e na kini Mahalo anu e Manulani. Hana hilo I ka po'i a ka ua ele hilo pano I ka wa. Halulu me ki ka po'a I ka nakala ka wa. O hama koe ki ala ulili O hilo ailu au, o pana e manahile pawai ke ala. Inu vai koli o hilo, o ka wakani le hua Mahalo no, mahalo no, mahalo no.
Mahalo nui, everyone.